Okay, so welcome back to the channel and added time, a new segment I'm going to do on the channel moving forward where I answer some of your guys' questions, some topics that I haven't touched on, maybe in full detail on other videos I do. So let's get right into it with some of the Twitter questions. If you do want to ask a question for an upcoming added time segment, at Son of Chelsea on Twitter, I'll probably put a tweet out before the video so you can go on there and ask your topics, or in the comments below. I'll check some of those out and then potentially do some in the coming weeks. So let's start off with at Dean Mears, Dean, a fellow CFC UK contributor. Is it logical to now sell Kante, or can he still fit into a Lampard midfield? It's an interesting one with Kante, it really is. I'm unsure about N'Golo Kante's future, and that's upsetting really, because I can't bring myself to say we should sell N'Golo Kante. He has been one of the most exceptional midfielders I have ever seen play for Chelsea. He really is. At his best, it's a cliche now, but he is like two players. But he's even more than that, I think, because I think elements of his game, especially during this debate of where Kante should play, people forget his ability going forward. That really is, I think, at points untapped potential. And I think maybe we saw some of that with Sarri. The unfortunate thing with Lampard, when I've watched him play in Lampard's system, he seems like a confused player. I feel like Lampard, just based off my own perspective on it, he wants to revert to Kante's maybe best years under Conte and of course at Leicester as well, under Ranieri, where he's a little bit more defensive, sort of protecting the back four a bit more. But also I think maybe Lampard doesn't want to sort of pin down Kante and limit his ability, which was developed under Sarri a bit more, his attacking ability. So that leaves, I think, Kante a bit, confused, I think, in a sense. And that's what I feel when watching him. I feel like when I watch Chelsea, our best games, our most fluid games actually are when Kante's not in the team. Now, I feel like when you've got a player of Kante's ability, now, of course, injuries have been piling up and his form hasn't been where it has been in the past. And could Kante's best years be behind him? That's a concern. And if they are, Chelsea could get a high fee for him. But I think with the quality of the player we have, even I remember the Liverpool game in the Super Cup, he was exceptional that night in the midfield three with Jorginho and Kovacic. And I think it's on Lampard to get the best out of Kante, because on his day, he's simply one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think just abandoning Kante and thinking that he can't play in the system, I think is silly, because not many other teams are blessed with a player like Kante. So if Frank can pin down his system, make it more certain, understand what he wants in his midfield, Kante can be part of that, of course, fitness permitting. But I don't think we should sell Kante. I don't think it is a logical move at the moment, in my opinion. Next is from Jay. What is going on with Kepa? What is going on with Kepa? It's one of those. Another thing, like Kante's future is uncertain. Kepa's future is definitely uncertain. There's doubts about whether, of course, Lampard trusts him. He's taken him out of the team. Willy Caballero is now first choice goalkeeper. Caballero did well. I've maintained in defence of Kepa all season that I do believe that, I think it got to a point with Kepa where people were looking for things and seeing things that weren't actually there. I remember the Hector Bellerin equaliser against Arsenal, where in truth that's just a really good finish by Bellerin, but people tried to make out that's a terrible piece of goalkeeping by Kepa. Yes, he isn't assertive. Yes, he's let goals go beyond him. The XG stats and the stats around Kepa for a keeper at Chelsea simply isn't good enough, especially for the level we hope Kepa can be at. I think for me, I look at what Kepa did last season, when he had a stable back four in front of him, when he had a more stable defence, when Chelsea weren't as shaky, when Sarri wasn't actually changing players around as much and as frequently as Lampard has. I think that's probably hurt Kepa. He needs to be more dominant in the box. There are times even Caballero is more dominant in the box, and that's what you need from a keeper. You need a keeper that dominates that area. But I do think Chelsea's defence and set piece and giving teams clear shots at goal, I mean, this is something that I think just annoys me so much when people just pin it all on Kepa, because the amount we give clear shots at goal, even against Spurs, who didn't create a lot. I remember the Lucas Moura one in the first half, where teams just get free shots at goal, and you are asking for problems. You really are. I look at teams like Liverpool, the best example at the moment. How many times in a game are teams given 3 shots at goal against Alisson. Alisson's a wonderful keeper, but at the same time, it's about that back four protecting that area and not allowing 3 shots at goal. And that's something Lampard and his defenders need to improve on. And whether it's a back 3 or a back 2 or back 4, whatever it is, it needs to work cohesively, and it needs to stop so many shots going in on a goal. Good opportunities for the opposition to score, especially at set pieces. That's another thing. Harry Maguire recently. So I don't think it's all on Kepa, but I would like to see Kepa come back in the team because I do think there's a wonderful keeper in there, and especially him on the ball, his distribution, and what he showed after a difficult period under Sarri last year. He responded really well and ended the season strongly. And I feel like, a bit like Kante, the amount of money they've invested on Kepa, I think there would be a concern that he would maybe leave prematurely, go somewhere else like Kevin De Bruyne and Salah have, and really thrive. That could be a concern, and I think a bit like Kante, I would hope Kepa, with his ability, and also Lampard, can put faith in him, give him another chance and see what he can do. That's my opinion on Kepa. So that is the end of Added Time. Please let me know your opinions on this new format and if you want to see more going forward. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.